being just out of high school and trying to realize what I'm supposed to be as a father, it was rough.
Brent and I met in August of 1997. I was a freshman in college and he was a junior in high school. By March of 1998, we were dating, and by December of 1998, we were expecting our first child. Not married, you just can imagine the stigma. Being raised in churches, I knew I'd messed up big time. I disappointed my parents, I disappointed the church and Brandon.
Knowing that I had a baby on the way and that in August that she was going to be there and I would have to be her father and just be someone that I didn't know if I was ready to be, all the weight that was on me at that time. It was just hard to try to put everything together. There
was a lot of shame and a lot of embarrassment because we knew we had messed up and we knew we'd let people down.
I remember when I asked Jennine's dad Ray for Jennine's hand in marriage, and he told me that I didn't have to marry Jennine just because that she was pregnant, and that it was a decision that I could walk away if I wanted to. It took a lot of guts for him to say that. I thought about it for a second, but I realized I wanted to marry her anyway. It wasn't just because of the baby. It just seemed like it was a mountain, but that's when I put my trust in God to take care of us.
We realized we were in over our heads, and so we totally recommitted ourselves to God, because it was one of those things where even with support, it's still a matter of how are you going to make this, or how are you going to do this if you can't do it on your own.
Realized what we did, and then He forgave us for what we did. We came together and decided to get married, and it was definitely a hard decision as a young couple. It wasn't the right path that we wanted to have, but I mean, that's just the way things worked. Every day was a challenge, but we pushed through and did the best that we could at the time.
From the time we kind of committed ourselves to going through this, we really felt that God was putting us together for good.
I knew that we were soulmates, and I was supposed to marry her, and we were supposed to start a family together.
It was one of those steps we took in faith, because we knew that that's where He was putting us.
We put our trust in Him, and we're faithful, and He provided in every way. We had a lot of support from our family, from our church, even though we weren't doing the things we were supposed to do.
I shared my story, and one of the women sitting there, she looked at me and she goes, I totally forgot about any of that. And the fact that somebody had been there through the whole thing and totally forgotten about it, I think it definitely speaks to God's ability to wipe away things that you feel mark you, or things that make you different. It definitely shows what God can do.
I look back and see the people that I disappointed with her dad and her mom, and my parents too.
It was hard to learn to live with myself with that, and I carried that for a long time, but I do think that God has taken that away. He's fixed that a little bit. Once we committed to God, and we knew that He had put us together, and that we were to be together, and that we were to follow through with this, He made the order work, which is not something you do on your own.
We are the Gleghorns,
and our story isn't over.